Hey everyone, and welcome to Training Tuesday for this week. My name is Heidi Reese, and I am your training programs manager for Dayton Superior and Simons. And I love that you have joined us today. We're going to be talking about bridge deck, and of course, Mr. Chuck Hoke himself is going to be handling that for us. Before we get started, just want to talk to you a little bit about everyone who's joined has joined muted, so that there aren't any interferences, dogs barking, those kind of things. We record each and every one of these and we put them out on YouTube. So we want to make sure that they're as clean as they possibly can be, so that if anybody wants to, watch them later, send them on their way to somebody else who might need them, they are good to go. So like I said, we record them. They're all out there on our YouTube channel, as well as DaytonSuperior.com. If you just search for Training Tuesday in the search bar, which is at the very top right, you'll find two links there, and one's to sign up for the next Training Tuesday. And then the second one is to show you all of the ones that we've done in the past by product type. So you can click on what you want to look at and see what we have available. Okay, so like normal, this presentation is intended for training purposes only. So any products that we're going to talk about today, please go out to DaytonSuperior.com and you can look at the technical data sheet, the safety data sheet, application guides are all out there on the product pages available, again, at DaytonSuperior.com. And Dayton is the leading provider of engineered solutions, and we provide you with not only the products of accessories and forming and chemicals, but we give you engineering and as well as training. Training's a big thing. We just talked about these being out there, but if there's something that you want more of, or it's just hitting the top of, oh, that's great, I saw this, but I really want to get more in depth for tilt or for precast or for rebar splicing, whatever, just contact us at training@DaytonSuperior.com and we'll be sure to make sure that you can get that all set up with our training gurus, which is a good way to segue into the one that is sitting here right next to me. So I told you Mr. Chuck, who is looking at me like, oh, here she goes again. But he is a guru of gurus. He's been around the industry for 50 years, and I am proud to have known him the past 10. So that's fantastic. He's been here, what, Dayton Superior, 20 years, 30 years? 30. I'm trying to get you somewhere else. It was only the 10 that I care about. No, don't sit back down. You're going to do this Training Tuesday. Guys, he was going to walk out and make me do it, and that was not going to be a pretty sight. But we are going to talk about exploring some bridge decks today. And Chuck, like I said, he really knows his stuff. He's been out there doing the business. He knows the business, got a lot of contacts in the business, and he's going to talk to you about a lot of things such as U.S. bridge data. It's going to be interesting to see the bridge deck construction overview, how we can assist with that, and the products and accessories and resources available to you. So go ahead, Mr. Chuck.
Well, thank you, Heidi. Now you've made me stay here, so I guess I'm going to end up doing this.
You better do well.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. So we're going to talk about bridge decks and the overview of bridge decks as we see it in the marketplace today. What we're looking at is there's an association, American Road Transportation Builders Association. They actually compile a lot of information. This is a sheet right from their yearly report that they filed for, about 3 months ago for 2024. So when we look at it, things really haven't changed too much. That there are basically 168 million bridges or crossings. So there's 168 million vehicles that go over 42,400 bridges that are rated in poor condition in the US today. So, and here you're looking at percentages of where the bridges are, let's say, not in the greatest shape that they should be. So you can see the states that are actually in the purple are doing a fairly good manageable job. They're from 0 to 5% in the line of bridges that are basically structurally deficient. So when you look at it here, you got the 5 to 9% in the light blue, which is quite a few of the states in the country. And then you have the dark blue, which 9% is a challenge for a lot of these states here. Because, I know the DOTs in these areas do a very good job at trying to uh, keep up with their bridges, but because their infrastructure is so old, they just can't get ahead. So if you look at what has transpired uh, with the Transportation Act that had went through here under the last, what's 7 years, 6 years, uh, we've gone from 37% of the structurally unsound bridges, deficient bridges, to now we are down to 36%. So realistically, what we are talking about is about a reduction approximately of 8,000 bridges across the country. Now, what that means is we are basically running at a par to pretty much flat line. So every time we repair a bridge to remove it from this list, there's another bridge that's old and deficient that goes on the list. So this is a huge problem that we've had here in this country here. And I'm looking at the monies that have been spent here. And when you look at it, the monies that have been spent are kind of crazy. Because we had a Transportation Act to repair bridges and highways. But yet we see a lot of that money going for replacing roofs on state structures, state buildings, which, believe me, I understand they need to be replaced. But the money that was earmarked for the Transportation Act is now being spent elsewhere. So we need to actually have politicians become more responsible and reliable for that when we pass a bill like this, that the money is going to be dedicated for what it was designed for. That's my political statement for the day.
Chuck, running for National Training Product Manager.
So when we start out with bridges here, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Well, mine is I come up with footers and foundations. I know I'm a little bit weird. I always like to start at the ground, work my way up.
Good thing.
So
crumble down.
yeah. So Siemens is one of the oldest companies in the US as far as forming bridges and abutments and everything else. And they do a lot of bridge highway construction here, whether it be a custom pier, custom hammerhead piers, abutments, pier caps, etc. They have the systems that will conform to what you need to have done. And they have a great engineering department that can actually help you with that. They do everything from custom designs and layouts for you here. This here is just a simple digester plant out in California that was done here. About a year, I think it was about a year ago now. This system here was all custom, flex form designed, fairly in-depth. Guys did a great job with it. The contractor went through this project here with minimal hiccups and got the project done in on time. So we also have shoring available for you in case whatever you need, and that can include anything from second stories to basically scaffolding requirements. Those are all things that we can do with details for you with the material that we have in our rental fleets. We have rental fleets available across the country in various locations. I want to say there's like 8 different Siemens locations right now that we can rent from. So this system here can, accommodate whether you're doing a simple, single span bridge to a multi, cantilevered cable stayed bridge. they can help you with any of those details. The STS system is the primary system for most of this heavy highway and civil jobs. They typically is a self-spanning steel framed structure form system. Uh, this is a great system, can do anywhere from over 1,750 to 2,000 pounds per square foot of concrete form pressure. So you're talking, this system is one of the strongest systems in the marketplace, and it does have self-spanning capability. So if you've got that big pier cap that's actually supported by two piers that are spaced quite a bit away, you don't have to have any additional shoring in the center of it. You can actually span from pier to pier to have it taken care of. We also do custom designs. So we also have availability here to do custom forms, and especially in the Maxiform. You see that with a lot of big projects here that have been coming out here. They want it to be monumental. So they're coming up with, architects and engineers are coming up with different structures in mind. So basically, we can help you with any of the pours, with the price, set off the price of the steel column, and actually hopefully reuse that column form over and over and over again on similar designs. We also have a Simon's bridge deck system. This is a gang form system that typically is used when you're talking a bridge, 2,000 feet or more. It becomes very appealing. The bridge deck system, this bridge deck system here comes in, it's pre-assembled with steel forms ready to pour. You basically have to attach it to your steel beam. The biggest problem you have with this system is it comes pre-assembled, shipped to your site, so you have those transportation costs involved in it. And it's, so if you have the long bridges with a repetitive cycle over and over and over again, these structures actually, this system actually becomes very cost effective. So, and let's talk about what I'll call regular bridge construction, where we're actually going to form it up using sticks and boards and overhang brackets and standard hangers. At Dayton Superior, we manufacture bridge overhang brackets, steel hangers, and all of the component accessories that will accommodate any bridge deck forming needs that you may have. So we also can do chemicals for curing, releasing for basically carry out control cracking, finishing of the concrete to protect it from the different elements. So we can actually go from simple to quite advanced and highly complicated projects from Dayton to Simons, and we can actually take care of all your needs on that system. So let's talk about overhang brackets. The mainstay of most bridge projects is the fascia, or what they call the overhang. Dayton here, we actually have the most common bridge bracket in the market, which is in C49. It was actually developed around the mid 1980s, when all the bridge bracket manufacturing companies decided to go from a fixed legs to all adjustables, so that we have a single bracket that can accommodate multiple different layouts. We also have a C49D, which is a deep bracket, because we are not rocket scientists.
D for deep.
D for deep. So this bracket here will have a vertical adjustment from 50 to 70 inches, where the C49 is 30 to 50 inches. We also have the C49S, which is nothing more than a C49 that has been adjusted or shortened in the field by taking out the inner vertical leg. That's for short. We also have a junior bracket. This is like a C49, only smaller, a junior. So this bracket here is actually 27 inches in vertical length and 27 inch in horizontal. Still has the same safe working load of 3,750 pounds. And then we also have our C49C and C49CD. They are extended capacity beam brackets. These brackets typically require select beams that they can go on because of the size of them and because of the types of girders that are available out there. They are typically taking this bracket, the standard C49, and actually beefing it up by basically adding a lot of component pieces to it. Sometimes this is a very cost-effective fashion how to handle larger overhangs. As I said earlier, the standard C49 bracket, most common in the marketplace, 54-inch vertical leg, or excuse me, horizontal leg, 30 to 50 on the vertical, safe working load of 3,750. The deep bracket, once again, is 50 to 7 inch on the vertical. All the other dimensions are the same. The S, obviously, is so you can shorten it down to 14 inches to 26 inches, field modified. We also have our C89 and C89 now, heavy duty overhang brackets. The C89 is 72 inches on a horizontal leg. The vertical leg is 28 to 66 inches long, and the C89L is 90 inches with a 6-inch deep horizontal member, 30 to 60 inches on the vertical adjustment. And these brackets typically weigh probably 4 times the amount of what a C49 does. So you're looking at something that's much more beefier. This requires a 3/4 inch hanger to accommodate it. And we also have what we call our West Coast style bracket. This is an old bracket style from obviously came from the West Coast, was originally developed out there for the seismic design of the bridges out in California originally. It bolts through the web of the concrete girder and typically is used with the yokes and a main carrying beam, and then you set the deck at the various angle that's going to be required. You see this bracket being used uh, consistently as a shoring and scaffolding bracket, just because of the way it connects, because it connects through the beam with 3/4 inch hardware, making the bracket quite easily to get around and quite effective as far as adjustability for depending on the degree of scope that they want in the deck. Now hangers. Yes, Dayton Superior has a slew of hangers uh, to fit everybody needs, whether it's be welded to the girder, going to be welded to the studs that are hanging up there. Precast hangers that can be mucked into your precast concrete girder ahead of time before it gets shipped out to the job site. We also have hangers that can be either interior or exterior. Exterior bracket where the over attaches to the overhang bracket are going to be a 45-degree clip. If it's going to be an interior hanger, it's going to require a 90-degree clip. For some instances, you may want a 15-degree offset, which is also available on select hangers. But all of these hangers are basically designed to accommodate the field conditions that they are required to support. So we also have our saddle style hangers. Typically, you see these in commercial structures uh, in lieu of SIP decking or stay in place corrugated metal decking. You have your coil rod hangers, which a lot of people prefer because it takes care of the hanger and the coil rod all in one. And you can get those both in a 45-90 or a 90-90 situation.
I feel like I'm in geometry with all these angles.
You, like we do the interior hangers pretty much the same way. We've got hangers that dependent upon haunch requirements of the project. So we can do those that have like a 0 haunch to a 1/2 inch haunch to 1 inch, inch and a half, and 2.5 inch maximum. We can also accommodate in some of the other where we can actually uh, fabricate the forming to actually the wood forming to actually create the haunch for the structure. If you get those structures, sometimes you get them that may require a little bit longer or bigger uh, haunch requirement to offset the beam. Now, the haunch is actually put in place here for the states to actually limit the deck thickness. So you kind of want to make sure that as the contractor doesn't want to donate concrete to the state doesn't want to have heavier loads on their bridge, so they'll actually put a haunch in place to actually make the concrete thicker. So you got bridge hangers also available for those that, let's say, it's forgotten. So you've got C25s, the C25 heavy duty and the C25A. Basically are used for those projects where all of a sudden, guys, we forgot to put hangers on our girder.
Oh, okay.
So this kind of was one of those emergency type hangers that came in place. So these are readily available and typically used quite often, more so than you think.
Well, it's good we have a solution for that.
Yeah, it's a great solution hanger for most bridge projects in the marketplace. Uh, so we can actually accommodate pretty much anything that you have here, whether you need a wraparound hanger, you're going to do interior, exterior forming. Get a hold of Dayton Superior at DaytonSuperior.com, and we can actually accommodate and help you design your bridge deck forming needs for your project. Accessories that we've got available, we've got coil rod that actually accommodates the bridge deck hanger. This typically is kept at a 45-degree angle to the hanger. The hanger has to be kept at a 45 degree, so the coil rod must be at a 45 degree as it comes off here. It will attach to the overhang bracket at a 45-degree angle, even though the overhang bracket can be at a different angle. Doesn't need to be at a 90 to the girder. It can be at a 15 to 10-degree slope. These things are, the bridge overhang bracket is designed to accommodate the changes in those angles. We also have a wall plate adapter for those concrete structures where you can attach an overhang bracket. You see these used for when contractors want to use their overhang bracket as a scaffold bracket. This actually attaches to the overhang bracket without any adjustability, any adjustable components within the bracket. This basically attaches, there's one hole on the bracket that actually has a bushing in it. You drop this in place here, and this will bolt up to the sidewall of the concrete structure. We have extensions, give you an extra 20 inches of walkway space and a scaffold bracket post. Both of these items here are available for rent and for purchase here, and typically have holes already punched in to match up to the overhang bracket.
It's handy.
Yeah, it comes in handy when you get them out on site.
Yeah.
Now, as I talked about earlier, get a hold of DaytonSuperior.com. We can actually help you here get all your deck forming needs here. Our bridge engineering group will actually forward this sheet off to you. And what they will do is you will fill this out or have the contractor fill it out. Pertinent information, if you're only doing the exterior, the fascia overhang, that's all you need to fill out. The interior bay can actually be left blank because it's not pertinent to this project. And from this, what we would do is we would run the calculations based off the information that you send us and come up with an overhang bracket spacing chart here, which will give you the spacing of the overhang brackets, the actually how to adjust the bracket and to what the dimensions need to be within the bracket. The bracket itself here is, if it's a C49, it's 30 inches to 50 inches, and you have the ability to actually adjust the vertical height and the positioning of where the attachment weldment plate is within the overhang brackets, where that 45 degree is going to come down and make attach. That is all listed on this sheet right here. So it's a great little piece of information in there. And it's also accepted by most DOTs as engineering capability. So the contractor can actually submit this paperwork for his pour schedule, and actually they have the formwork design already done for him for the DOT. We can also accommodate the interior formwork here based off of standard dimensionalized lumber. And it'll come down, give you the interior spacing, and typically our guys here are gracious enough down in our bridge deck and forming group that they will try to keep your interior and your exterior in alignment.
That's nice.
So that the hangers all line up. It makes everything flow a lot easier, quicker, and faster on the job site. Because as we know, time is money, especially on a job. So here's where we run the calculations. You'll see the bending stresses. Once again, this can be provided to the DOT for any paperwork that they're required. And if they require a drawing, we can actually also accommodate them with that too. And this actually can be put in place for a pour plan. Shows the contractor exactly how to build the bridge overhang and the interior forming, and shows all of his load capacities for his finishing machine provided by the contractor, the weight capacities, because finishing machines are like a box of chocolates. You never know. You don't know what you're going to get for weights on the finishing machines. They can range considerably from 900 pounds a wheel to 2,600 pounds a wheel. So depending on what finishing machine you have, that's all based on this, and our guys will run the calculations for you to assure that you have a project that will run through smoothly, give you a nice clean deck like this job is promoting right here. Here's a typical finishing machine running through and across the bridge deck. Got the AstroTurf drags on the back side of it. They're actually putting the little rough surface on the bridge deck. Once this deck is smoothed out, 28 days, they'll be ready to put traffic on it. The finishing machine, as we said, depending on what the design considerations are with the machine, things we need to know from it is obviously the weight per wheel and the wheel configuration here, based whether it be a two and a two. Some finishing machines are a 3-2-2. Some machines are a 3-2. And we will actually have to have those calculations from the contractor, because, like I said, all the finishing machines are different in society, and it all depends what options the contractor has on his finishing machine. Now, we also have bar supports available for actually forming up and forming your bridge deck. So we can accommodate whether it be a plastic tipped material, slab bolster upper, all plastic material, type 3 galvanized material. We can pretty much provide anything and everything you need requiring DOT requirements for this system here. And as always, bar supports, we should conform to CRSI recommendations for spacing, which typically are no more than 4 foot on center. So, and if you have anything for your upper deck, upper mats, you're going to need a slab bolster upper. Well, the slab bolster upper typically can come in just the same thing we talked about. It can come black, epoxy coated, galvanized. You can also get it in a all plastic material. If need be, if you're talking galvanized bar supports, you can use an all plastic or stainless steel bar supports. You can go with a plastic bar support and not have any rust to worry about. Now, we showed a lot of product here a lot of information. Well, it's all available at DaytonSuperior.com on the website. Uh, all of our technical data sheets, handbooks, e-marketing product pages. Yes, we can show you how to get a hold of your sales rep on site here too, by picking out whether you want Simons or Dayton Superior, the region that you, part of the country you are from, or the project is in. You can actually see what salesman is covering that territory. The cell phone is listed there, so you have direct contact with the salespeople involved. And this also gives you a full line of customer service, technical engineers, and obviously training. Now, if you do have any questions, now's the time to ask. Please use the chat functionality to actually send them over to Heidi and myself, or scan the QIR code, and that will actually take you to Dayton Superior training at DaytonSuperior.com. And drop us a note whether or not what you want to see or what you want to hear, or ask a question that I didn't answer.
Yeah, actually, we're a little over time, but that's okay because this was really good. Good information. I loved it. So I'm going to stay on the line for a little bit more, and you can go ahead and put the questions in, and I might have to email you those answers, but I'm here for a little bit. Or like Chuck said, just go to training@DaytonSuperior.com, and we'll be sure to get those answers to you. So I'll just stay on the line for a little bit longer, just a little bit. This will be out on our website on DaytonSuperior.com soon, and you can probably get to it about, I don't know, an hour or so, and sign up for the next one. And I'm going to leave it right there. Go ahead and you can put your questions in if you have them, and we'll get them answered to you offline. So thank you all I hope you enjoyed today's Training Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. Until then, bye now.